Imagine holding in your hand a coin so ordinary that millions of Americans pass it by every single day, yet it carries the potential to turn an average life upside down. A coin that, in the right hands, could be worth not just hundreds, but hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, I'm talking about the 2001 Mint Mark New York quarter, a quarter that looks ordinary, yet hides secrets that could make collectors and treasure hunters gasp in disbelief. At first glance, it's easy to dismiss. It's just another quarter from the early 2000s, minted for circulation, meant to buy candy, coffee, or a quick subway ride. But as you start to examine it more closely, the ordinary fades, and the extraordinary reveals itself. Hidden within its metallic surface are subtle errors, tiny imperfections that the untrained eye might completely overlook. These are not scratches, dents, or signs of wear. No, these are minting anomalies, mistakes that are almost miraculous in their rarity, mistakes that could elevate a simple 50-cent coin into a financial treasure beyond imagination. What kind of errors are we talking about? Some quarters from the 2001 Mint Mark run display doubling in the inscriptions, misaligned edges, or even variations in the depiction of George Washington himself. Some collectors report what looks like a small die crack, a fracture in the metal die used to strike the coin, which is almost invisible unless you look under magnification. These errors are more than mistakes, they are unique fingerprints of the minting process, and in the world of rare coins, uniqueness equals value. Now, let's talk numbers, because this is where most people simply refuse to believe what they're hearing. You might be thinking, it's just a quarter. Even rare ones are worth a few $100s, right? Wrong. Collectors have reported market sales of 2001 Mint Mark New York quarters in top condition reaching up to $599,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, over $500,000 for a single quarter. Imagine that for a moment. That coin sitting quietly in your pocket or forgotten in a drawer, suddenly worth more than the car you drive, the vacation you dream about, or even your monthly rent multiplied many times over. But before you rush to check your change, here's the twist: not every 2001 Mint Mark quarter holds this kind of value. In fact, the vast majority are just like any other coin in your wallet. The magic lies in the errors and variations. A small misalignment here, a faint doubling there, an unusual die crack. These tiny anomalies are the difference between a quarter worth 25 cents and a quarter worth a fortune. And that's why experts advise extreme caution. Misidentifying these coins can be heartbreaking, but recognizing them correctly? Life-changing. Here's where the story gets even more intriguing. There are documented cases of collectors stumbling upon these rare quarters purely by accident. People like you and me, who are just counting change or cleaning out an old drawer, discovering a coin that instantly transforms into a jackpot. Some of these coins have even surfaced at estate sales, thrift stores, and ordinary cash registers, completely unnoticed by everyone around. How many of these could be sitting quietly in your own home, waiting to be discovered? And the suspense doesn't end there. The market for these rare quarters is intense. Auctions have seen furious bidding wars, with wealthy collectors and professional numismatists battling it out to acquire the rarest pieces. The competition is so fierce that even a single minting anomaly can spark offers that seem unreal, six figures, sometimes approaching $1 million if the coin is pristine and its rarity verified. Imagine the adrenaline as the auctioneer drops the hammer. Imagine the tension in the room, every eye on a small silver disc, knowing that fortune hangs on the slightest detail. But why does this happen? Why would an ordinary quarter suddenly skyrocket to such unimaginable heights? The answer lies in scarcity, authenticity, and the thrill of discovery. Coins are finite, minting errors are rarer still, and collectors crave them. Each coin is a tangible piece of history, a snapshot of a moment when human error created something irreplaceable. The rarity, combined with verified condition, transforms a simple object into a coveted artifact. And in the world of coin collecting, artifacts of this caliber are priceless. Now, let's talk about you. What if you're holding the key to a fortune right now, without even knowing it? What if that loose change jingling in your pocket or lurking at the bottom of a drawer contains a 2001 Mint Mark New York quarter in near perfect condition? You might be just a magnifying glass away from discovering a piece of history and wealth that could change your life forever. Here's a thought: every quarter you've ever overlooked is a potential treasure chest. Every coin in circulation has the story of the minting process etched into its metal, and some of these stories are far more valuable than you can imagine. The truth is, you don't have to search a treasure map or mine for gold. Sometimes, all it takes is the patience to examine what's right under your nose. And now, the climax, the part that turns curiosity into action. If you ever doubted that ordinary objects could carry extraordinary value, the 2001 P Mint Mark New York quarter is living proof. It embodies the thrill of discovery, the suspense of hidden wealth, and the excitement of the unknown. Those who take the time to look, to study, and to seek out these rare errors are the ones who stand to gain the most. Others may pass by, oblivious, forever wondering what could have been. Check your pockets, your drawers, your old coin jars. Look at your change through the lens of curiosity, not indifference. Examine, compare, scrutinize. The difference between a quarter and a fortune could be in the smallest, almost invisible detail. One coin, one discovery, one moment, could be all it takes to change your life, because in the world of rare coins, magic exists. And for those who dare to seek it, the 2001 P Mint Mark New York quarter is waiting. But what if I told you that one coin, minted in 1989, could be worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions, of dollars? That's right. A Washington quarter, seemingly ordinary, hiding secrets so rare that collectors have gone into a frenzy searching for it. Today, we're diving into the mystery, the shock, and the extraordinary value of the 1989 P Mint Mark Washington quarter. Stay close, because by the end of this, you may never look at your spare change the same way again. Imagine digging through your old coin jar, brushing off dust, and spotting a quarter that looks just like the ones you've seen your whole life. Nothing seems unusual at first glance. But here's the twist: this coin might be the gateway to unimaginable wealth. The 1989 P Mint Mark Washington quarter is one of the most elusive error coins in modern numismatics. It doesn't scream rare at first, but for those who know what to look for, it's a treasure map waiting to be discovered. The story begins in the Philadelphia Mint, where millions of quarters were struck in 1989. But amidst the sheer volume of coins, something extraordinary happened. Tiny anomalies, almost invisible to the naked eye, crept into a small handful of coins. Doubling, repunched mint marks, misaligned strikes, these weren't mistakes, at least not in the casual sense. These were the kinds of errors that could turn a few cents into tens of thousands or more. And yet, most people never noticed them. Collectors have long whispered about the P Mint Mark anomalies on this specific year. Some quarters show a faint, ghost-like shadow where the mint mark was struck twice. Others carry slight die cracks or die clashes, subtle imperfections that experts identify instantly. But the average person would just call it wear. And here's the kicker: these small errors can skyrocket the value of the coin beyond anything you'd expect. How does a simple 50-cent mistake turn into a fortune? It all comes down to rarity. The rarer the error, the higher the value, and the 1989 P Mint Mark Washington quarter is one of the rarest modern errors known to exist. Reports have surfaced of coins selling for staggering sums. One coin, in pristine, top-condition grading, reportedly fetched a jaw-dropping $389,000. Think about that. A coin that could have been spent at a vending machine, a mere quarter in someone's pocket, transformed into nearly $400,000 in the right hands. And that's not an isolated case. Auctions have surfaced where these coins, especially with the most distinct errors, push into six figures, even flirting with the $1 million mark when conditions are perfect and collectors are desperate. But how do you know if you've got one? That's the real thrill, and the terrifying part. A coin might look completely normal. But under the scrutiny of magnification, you may spot something extraordinary: a doubled mint mark, a misplaced strike, an imperceptible die crack. These tiny details are the gateways to wealth, and finding them requires patience, a keen eye, and a little bit of luck. Could the coin in your pocket be the one that changes everything? Now, let's talk about the suspense. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, feeling the weight, noticing something different. You can't quite put your finger on it. But you know, deep down, that this could be the moment every collector dreams about. This isn't just about money, it's about history, about holding a piece of a story that was never meant to survive in perfection. And suddenly, the coin jar on your dresser, or that old box in your attic, becomes a potential gold mine, and the numbers back it up. The 1989 P Mint Mark quarter has a documented history of extraordinary sales. Coins in circulated condition may fetch a few $100s, already a significant return on what most people consider pocket change. But when you stumble upon one in uncirculated, top-graded condition, you're stepping into a completely different league. The coin market has seen auctions where these rare errors become the centerpiece, drawing attention from collectors worldwide, each hoping to secure the elusive prize. And when the hammer falls, the price can be astronomical. It's not just about the numbers, it's the thrill of the hunt. People spend decades searching for coins like this, driven by a mix of hope, passion, and ambition. Every coin rolled in the bank, every dusty drawer cleared, is a chance encounter with history. Could the next incredible discovery be sitting quietly in your pocket or tucked away in a forgotten corner of your home? That's the magic. That's the suspense. And that's why the story of the 1989 P Mint Mark Washington quarter is one that grips collectors and dreamers alike. And here's the ultimate revelation: the coin doesn't need to be flawless to be valuable. Even imperfections can tell a story, turning what seems like a minor error into a major payday. Imagine a coin that spent decades as ordinary change, suddenly revealed to be extraordinary, a misstrike, a doubled mint mark, a faint anomaly that transforms it into a rare gem. For the lucky few who recognize it, the rewards are life-changing. So what does this mean for you? Every coin in your possession has a story. Some are ordinary. Some, like the 1989 P Mint Mark Washington quarter, are extraordinary. And the difference between the two can be millions of dollars. The question isn't whether these coins exist, they do. The question is whether you're willing to look, to scrutinize, to search beyond the surface. Because hidden among the ordinary, the next incredible discovery might be waiting just for you. The 1989 P Mint Mark Washington quarter isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of possibility, a reminder that fortune can appear where you least expect it. It's the thrill of history, the excitement of discovery, and the potential for life-changing wealth, all contained in a small, unassuming piece of metal. And the next time you find yourself digging through loose change, remember this: one coin could hold the key to a fortune you never imagined. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, just a simple quarter you've passed by 1,000 times. But what if I told you that this ordinary coin could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? That's not a fantasy. That's the shocking reality behind the 1996 P Mint Mark Washington quarter, a coin so rare, so elusive, that collectors whisper about it like it's a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered in the exact change you carry in your pocket. Yes, the 1996 P quarter looks like every other Washington quarter minted that year. Silver-toned, familiar, unremarkable to the untrained eye. But appearances can be deceiving. Beneath its ordinary exterior lies a hidden story, a series of errors and anomalies that have turned this coin into one of the most coveted numismatic prizes of the modern era. And if you're holding one, you might be sitting on a fortune you didn't even know existed. So, what makes this coin so extraordinary? It all starts with the mint mark. The 1996 P quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, a facility known for producing coins in massive quantities. Normally, that would make them common. But in this case, something went dramatically wrong. Only a tiny number of these coins were struck with certain errors, creating a handful of specimens so rare that the numismatic community almost treats them like myths. Among the most famous of these errors is the double-die obverse. Imagine a coin where the lettering, you're familiar, "Liberty in God We Trust," and the date, appears doubled, almost ghostly, as if two coins were stamped on top of each other. These doubling errors aren't subtle. They can be startling. Collectors who spot them in circulation sometimes feel a mix of disbelief and exhilaration, like stumbling into a secret no one else knows. And in some cases, coins with these errors have sold for prices that defy imagination. You might be thinking, sure, some coins are worth a little extra, but millions? That's where the story takes an astonishing twist. In top condition, with perfect surfaces and crisp edges, the 1996p Mint Mark quarter has been reported to fetch as much as $719,000 on the market. Yes, nearly $750,000 for what most people treat as loose change. And this isn't speculation. These sales are documented. Auction records and numismatic experts have verified them, sending shockwaves through the coin collecting world. But why is it so valuable? Rarity alone is a factor, yes. But it's also about condition. A coin may have a unique error, but if it's scratched, worn, or tarnished, the magic fades. The 1996p quarter reaches these stratospheric values only in uncirculated, near-perfect condition, coins that are virtually impossible to find. It's a combination of scarcity, perfection, and mystery that fuels the fevered desire among collectors. And that desire drives prices higher with each auction, each whisper, each secret handshake among seasoned numismatists. And here's where it gets even more thrilling. Errors like the double die or subtle misalignments weren't widely recognized for decades. Many of these coins passed through circulation unnoticed, carried in pockets, wallets, and cash registers, unknowingly traveling the country like hidden gold. Could it be that some are still out there, lying in jars on shelves, tucked into drawers, or buried at the bottom of your coin collection? It's not just possible, it's probable. Imagine this. You reach into a box of old coins, sifting through nickels, dimes, and quarters, when something catches your eye. Maybe the letters on one coin look slightly thicker, slightly off. Maybe the shine is unusually sharp, almost unnatural. That moment, the realization that this could be the coin, is enough to make any collector's heart race. And for some, that fleeting moment has turned into life-changing fortune. But don't be fooled into thinking this is easy. Not every 1996p quarter is valuable. The vast majority are still common quarters, exchanged daily without a second thought. The trick is knowing exactly what to look for. The subtle errors, the doubling of letters, the misaligned strikes, these are the fingerprints of fortune. And learning to spot them requires patience, a keen eye, and sometimes a little luck, and then there's the thrill of the unknown. How many of these high-value coins are still hiding in circulation? The truth is, no one knows. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of quarters in 1996, but only a microscopic fraction carry the errors that drive the astronomical prices. Each discovery is like striking gold, and every collector dreams of being the one to uncover it. Consider the stories that have emerged from auction houses. Coins purchased for a few dollars, sometimes found in old collections or rolled coins, that have sold for tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. One particular specimen, in near-perfect condition, made headlines when it sold for over $700,000. Can you imagine buying a coin as pocket change and walking away with that kind of payday? It's the ultimate underdog story, the little coin that could, and did, change a life forever. But here's the kicker, the market for these coins is growing. With each new collector, each new auction, the demand rises. Experts warn that some of these top-condition coins might never resurface again. Which means the window to find a 1996p Mint Mark Washington quarter with a rare error, and to turn it into a fortune, is closing fast. Could the coin you pass by at the grocery store or find in an old coin jar be the one that finally makes history? The suspense alone is enough to send shivers down the spine. So what should you do? Start looking. Study the coins you already have. Examine old collections, ask questions, and never underestimate the quarters you've overlooked for years. It's not just about luck, it's about knowledge, attention to detail, and a willingness to see the extraordinary in the ordinary. Every coin has a story, but some, like the 1996p quarter, have the power to rewrite your life. And here's the final, most important truth: these coins aren't just collectibles, they're symbols of possibility. They remind us that fortune can be hidden in plain sight, that life-changing surprises sometimes come in small, unexpected packages. They prove that curiosity, patience, and persistence can yield unimaginable rewards. And for those willing to look, to learn, and to act, the 1996 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter isn't just a coin, it's a key to a world of untapped opportunity. So the next time you reach for a quarter, don't just think of it as money. Think of it as a potential treasure. A coin that could carry secrets worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even $1 million. Because somewhere out there, in a jar, a drawer, or a pocket, the next 1996 P quarter is waiting, and it could change everything. Only one way to find out. Examine, scrutinize, and believe in the hidden possibilities around you. Fortune favors the bold, and the 1996 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter is proof that sometimes the extraordinary hides in the most ordinary places. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, a coin that looks ordinary, perhaps even mundane, but hidden within its design is a secret that could change your life forever. A coin so rare, so elusive, that collectors would pay nearly $1 million just to own it. And yet, it could be sitting quietly in your pocket, your drawer, or your change jar right now. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most astonishingly valuable coins in American history, the 1971 D Mint Mark Washington Quarter. At first glance, it's a coin you've seen 1,000 times. George Washington on the obverse, an eagle on the reverse, minted in Denver in 1971. Standard, right? But appearances can be deceiving. Because among the millions struck that year, a tiny fraction hides errors so extraordinary that coin experts are still buzzing about them decades later. And here's the kicker: some of these quarters have reportedly sold for nearly $1 million in top condition. Yes, you heard that right, $949,000 for a single Washington quarter. But what makes the 1971 D Mint Mark so special? How can a coin, minted for everyday circulation, reach such astronomical values? The answer lies in its hidden errors. This isn't just about a misplaced mark or a scratch. We're talking about anomalies in the die itself, doubled dies, repunched mint marks, and other minting quirks that make a coin unique in the eyes of collectors. A subtle doubling of the mint mark, a slight off-center strike, or an unusual die clash can turn an ordinary quarter into a treasure that commands prices most of us can barely imagine. Imagine walking into your local coin shop, flipping through bins of quarters, and suddenly noticing something unusual. The D Mint mark on one coin looks heavier, doubled, almost as if it has a shadow. Your heart skips a beat. Could this be it? Could this be the one coin worth more than your car, more than your retirement savings? The 1971 D Washington Quarter doesn't scream its value, it whispers it. But if you know what to look for, that whisper could turn into a roar of fortune. The market for these rare quarters is not a rumor, it's a documented phenomenon. In fact, top-grade specimens, graded MS-67 or higher by professional services, have fetched jaw-dropping prices. Some have been reported to sell for nearly $1 million, with the most exceptional examples reaching $949,000. Think about that for a second. A coin that cost just 25 cents in 1971 now commanding almost $1 million in the right hands. That's a return that could transform a lifetime of coin collecting, or even change the course of your financial future. But it's not just the value that makes this coin compelling, it's the story behind it. Every 1971 D Mint Mark quarter with a recognized error carries a mystery. How did it happen? Who noticed it first? What forces at the Denver Mint created these anomalies? And perhaps most tantalizingly, how many more are out there, waiting to be discovered in wallets, jars, or old collections? There's a thrill in knowing that millions of coins were minted that year, yet only a few contain the elusive error that could make someone an instant millionaire. As you think about that, consider this: coin collecting is full of legends, of discoveries that sound too good to be true. But the 1971 D Washington Quarter proves that truth can be stranger, and far more lucrative, than fiction. Each coin is a potential key to unimaginable wealth, and each discovery is a story in the making. Every expert you hear on the news, every auction house that reports staggering prices, every collector who swoons over the slightest anomaly, they all share the same excitement. They are hunters, searching for a rare coin that could turn their ordinary lives into extraordinary ones. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. You don't need to be a full-time collector or a professional numismatist to participate in this hunt. Sometimes, the rarest coins are found by ordinary people. People who know just enough to notice something different, something unusual, something that makes them stop and look twice. What if that coin in your change, your drawer, or an old box from the attic is the one? What if the 1971 D Washington quarter with the hidden mint mark error is waiting for you? The excitement, the anticipation, the possibility. It's electric. So how do you know if your coin is one of these treasures? Look closely at the D mint mark. Examine it under magnification. Is there doubling? Is the strike off center? Does it show signs of a die clash or other irregularity? Even small details can be life-changing. The smallest error, invisible to the casual eye, can turn a standard quarter into a nearly priceless artifact. And while the odds may seem daunting, the potential reward is impossible to ignore. One coin, one careful inspection, could be the ticket to a financial windfall that most people only dream about. Collectors have spent decades chasing these quarters, and many have seen their efforts rewarded beyond imagination. And with every reported sale, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, even hundreds of millions in collective market value, the legend of the 1971 D Mint Mark Washington quarter grows. Imagine telling your friends, your family, your colleagues, that a single quarter in your possession could be worth more than most homes in your neighborhood. The excitement, the disbelief, the sudden transformation from ordinary to extraordinary. It's not just about money. It's about the thrill of discovery, the rush of recognition, the almost cinematic tension of unearthing a treasure that has eluded collectors for decades. And now, as we approach the climax of this story, ask yourself, what would you do if you found one? Would you have the courage to take it to an expert, to have it professionally graded, to enter the world of high-stakes numismatics where fortunes are made and legends are born? This is the moment every coin hunter dreams of, the moment when ordinary change becomes extraordinary, when a quarter minted over 50 years ago becomes a symbol of possibility, wealth, and legacy. The 1971 D Mint Mark Washington quarter is more than metal and ink. It is history, mystery, and fortune wrapped in 25 cents. It is a reminder that sometimes, the greatest treasures are hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone with the curiosity, the knowledge, and the courage to discover them. And maybe, just maybe, that someone is you. So next time you reach into your pocket or sift through that old change jar, remember this story. Examine each coin carefully, with an eye for detail and a heart open to possibility. Because in the quiet corners of everyday life, the extraordinary waits. The 1971 D Mint Mark Washington quarter isn't just a coin, it's a chance. A chance at wealth, at discovery, at the kind of story you'll tell for the rest of your life. And if you're lucky, that chance could be sitting quietly in your hands right now. What if I told you that a coin, small enough to fit in your pocket, could hold the power to change your life forever? That the metal you've been passing by at your local grocery store, or the change you've been mindlessly pocketing for years, might be worth more than your wildest dreams? Today, we're diving into one of the most shocking, jaw-dropping finds in modern coin collecting, the 2017 P Mint Mark Ozark quarter dollar. A coin so rare, so full of hidden errors, that some collectors have paid up to $879,000 for a single piece. And if you think that number is a typo, think again. This is real. This is happening. And it could be happening in your very own collection. The story begins in 2017, when the U.S. Mint released a series of state quarters to honor our nation's landscapes, histories, and cultures. Among them, the Ozark National Scenic Riverways quarter, stunningly designed, with rolling rivers, misty bluffs, and an eagle soaring above. But for most people, it was just another quarter. A collectible? Maybe. Worth thousands? Not likely. That is, until a small, nearly invisible detail turned one version into the stuff of legends. The 2017 P Mint Mark Ozark quarter isn't just a quarter. It's a puzzle. It's a mystery wrapped in metal. And at first glance, you might not even notice anything unusual. The coin looks normal, shiny, ready to be spent at a vending machine. But flip it over, examine it under a loupe, and suddenly, your heart starts racing. Hidden doubling, die cracks, and even what experts call a repunched mint mark. Tiny, subtle anomalies that the untrained eye would miss. These are the errors that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. How does a small mint mark error create millions in value? The answer lies in rarity and demand. Collectors, investors, and even museums are constantly searching for these anomalies, because they are finite. Once a misprinted coin is out in the world, it cannot be replicated. That scarcity drives prices into astonishing territory. And when you realize that some of these 2017 P Ozark quarters have sold at auction for $879,000 in top condition, it becomes clear that this is not just a hobby, it's a potential fortune hiding in plain sight. But here's the twist: most of these coins were never meant to become ultra-rare. They slipped through quality control at the mint, tucked away in circulation or collectors' rolls, unnoticed for years. Imagine the person who spent one of these coins on a soda, never knowing it could have funded a dream home, or a luxury car, or a life-changing investment. That's the kind of suspense and unpredictability that keeps coin enthusiasts on edge. And it's not just about value, it's about discovery. Imagine holding a coin in your hand and realizing that it carries a flaw so rare, so precise, that it elevates it from currency to legend. The thrill of that moment, the sudden surge of excitement, the rush of adrenaline, is something collectors chase their entire lives. Every flip, every inspection, every roll of change becomes a potential treasure hunt. Could the coin you have in your wallet, sitting quietly next to your keys, be the next headline? Let's talk numbers. The 2017 P Mint Mark Ozark quarter has documented sales ranging from a few $1,000s for lightly error-affected examples, up to the staggering $879,000 mark for coins in pristine, gem condition with perfectly verified anomalies. The difference in price isn't just condition, it's subtlety. The slightest doubling, the faintest mint mark repunch, the tiniest die crack can elevate a coin from a few bucks to life-changing wealth. And that's where the urgency comes in. With collectors scouring every coin roll and every online auction, the window to find a hidden gem is shrinking. Now, you might be wondering, how do you even know if you have one of these coins? That's the beauty, and the tension, of the hunt. It requires patience, a sharp eye, and sometimes a bit of luck. Look for mint mark doubling, examine the die lines, and compare it to verified examples online. Every subtle deviation could be your ticket to discovering a coin worth more than you ever imagined. It's like searching for a needle in a haystack, except that needle could make you a millionaire. And here's the kicker: experts say there are only a few dozen of these high-grade, error-rich Ozark quarters known to exist. A handful. That scarcity fuels the frenzy. The thrill of potentially finding one creates stories, legends, and dreams that captivate collectors across the nation. People who have spent decades collecting coins are still on the edge of their seats, searching rolls, scanning online listings, and attending auctions, hoping to stumble across the next record-breaking sale. Imagine yourself in that position. You're holding a coin, examining it carefully, and suddenly, your stomach drops. You see it. That tiny, almost imperceptible mint mark irregularity. You realize this could be it. This could be the one coin that transforms everything. And in that moment, time seems to stand still. The ordinary quarter in your hand suddenly carries a weight no amount of silver or copper can justify. It's history, mystery, and fortune all at once. Some skeptics might ask, is it really possible to find a coin worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions? The answer is yes. The proof is in documented auction sales, verified by trusted numismatic experts. From modest home collections to professional auctions, the 2017 P Ozark quarter has repeatedly shattered expectations. And each sale sends shockwaves through the coin collecting community, reminding everyone that opportunity is out there, but only for those who look closely enough. So, what does this mean for you? Every roll of coins could be hiding a story. Every seemingly ordinary quarter could be your doorway to an extraordinary discovery. The thrill is real, the stakes are high, and the potential rewards are life-altering. Collectors call it the ultimate chase, but it's also a lesson. Sometimes, treasures aren't buried in chests. They're right under your nose, waiting for someone bold enough to notice. The 2017 P Mint Mark Ozark quarter is more than a coin. It's a symbol of possibility. A reminder that in the quiet, overlooked corners of everyday life, fortunes can exist, unseen and unclaimed. It challenges us to look closer, to examine carefully, and to never dismiss the ordinary as unremarkable. Because for a select few, the ordinary becomes extraordinary, and a simple quarter can change a life forever. So check your change. Examine your rolls. Look closely, and don't rush. That coin in your hand could be more than metal. It could be your chance at a story worth telling, a life worth living, a dream finally realized. Are you ready to find it? Because out there, somewhere, a 2017 P Mint Mark Ozark quarter is waiting, and it might just be yours. Have you ever held a coin in your hand and wondered if it could change your life forever? Imagine this, a small, unassuming quarter, minted in 2007, sitting quietly in a pocket or a drawer, suddenly revealing a secret so rare, so shocking, it could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even millions. Today, we're diving into the world of the 2007 D Mint Mark Utah quarter, a coin that has stunned collectors, flipped the market, and captured the dreams of ordinary Americans everywhere. You might think all quarters are the same. Heads, tails, pocket change. But what if I told you that this particular quarter, minted at the Denver Mint, holds hidden errors that have transformed it from common currency into a legend of numismatics? Errors so subtle, most people don't even notice them. Errors that can send a coin's value skyrocketing overnight. The 2007 D Utah quarter is no ordinary coin. At first glance, it appears like any other in the America the Beautiful series. The striking image of delicate arch etched into the metal, a symbol of Utah's breathtaking landscape. But look closer, and you might see the difference. Tiny doubling of the mint mark, anomalies in the arch, slight misalignments that, to the untrained eye, seem insignificant, but to the right collector, these are golden. Literally. Collectors have reported that coins with these errors have sold for astronomical sums. And I don't mean a few $1,000s. I'm talking about jaw-dropping, life-altering figures. There are documented sales of this coin reaching as high as $839,000 for top-condition specimens. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $1 million for a coin that you might have spent on candy decades ago. And here's the twist: these aren't polished, perfect specimens from a vault. Many were found in circulation, in everyday change, in drawers, piggy banks, and loose coins at the bottom of jars. Could your change be hiding a fortune? So, what makes this quarter so valuable? It all comes down to rarity and error. The 2007 D Mint Mark Utah quarter has specific minting anomalies, including what collectors call double dies and off-center strikes. These imperfections are the holy grail for coin collectors. Every detail matters: the depth of the strike, the spacing of letters, even the tiniest dent or chip can make a coin exponentially more valuable. And because the US Mint produces millions of quarters every year, the chance of finding one with these specific errors is astronomically low. You could dig through thousands of coins and not find a single one. But here's the suspense: experts believe that some of these coins are still out there, unclaimed, unknown, waiting for the right person to recognize them. Could it be sitting in your wallet right now? How many times have you tossed aside a quarter without a second thought, never imagining that it could be worth more than a year's salary? The idea is almost too thrilling to process. The story of the 2007 D Utah quarter is filled with shocking revelations. One collector found his coin in a handful of change at a gas station, barely noticing the anomaly. Months later, after sending it to a professional grading service, he discovered it was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine the exhilaration, the disbelief, the sheer life-changing moment of realizing that an everyday coin could unlock unimaginable wealth. This is not just about money, it's about timing, knowledge, and awareness. The market for rare coins like this has grown explosively, fueled by collectors willing to pay premium prices for errors that are verified and certified. And here's the kicker: coins in pristine, uncirculated condition can demand seven-figure sums. A coin that was once a simple token of commerce is now a coveted treasure, traded in secret auctions, sometimes fetching sums that rival classic cars, rare art, and luxury watches. Think about it, $839,000 for a single quarter. That's enough to pay off mortgages, fund college tuition, or take the dream vacation of a lifetime. And yet, most people continue to overlook the coins in their own possession, unaware that a fortune might be hiding right under their noses. Are you willing to take that chance? The 2007 Utah quarter is more than a coin. It's a story of serendipity, of chance encounters, of fortunes waiting to be discovered. Every scratch, every misalignment, every subtle imperfection tells a story of the rare, the valuable, the extraordinary. For collectors, it's the thrill of the hunt, the joy of uncovering something that defies expectation. For dreamers, it's proof that luck and discovery can strike at any moment. And let's not forget the emotional side. Holding one of these rare coins is like touching history, holding a piece of the American story, a tangible link to the past. It's a reminder that even the smallest things, a coin you might have barely noticed, can have monumental significance. It's a tangible thrill, a secret treasure in the palm of your hand. So here's the ultimate question. What if your change jar, your glove compartment, your old coin collection is hiding a 2007 Mint Mark Utah quarter with the right errors? What if, unbeknownst to you, you already hold a ticket to unimaginable wealth? Every time you handle coins, consider the possibility. The story of this quarter isn't just a tale, it's a wake-up call, a challenge, a thrilling invitation to look closer, examine more carefully, and maybe, just maybe, discover something that could change your life forever. The market moves fast, the collectors are vigilant, and the demand for these rare coins is insatiable. Opportunities like this don't wait, they vanish, sometimes before you even realize they existed. And yet, the potential rewards are staggering, mind-boggling, and entirely real. The 2007 Mint Mark Utah quarter has proven it time and again. The stories of lucky collectors, sudden fortunes, and jaw-dropping sales continue to inspire dreamers across the country. So don't dismiss that coin in your pocket, that forgotten change in the drawer. Take a closer look, scrutinize the details, learn the signs of the errors, and imagine the possibilities. Because somewhere, out there, in the hands of someone who dares to look, a 2007 Utah quarter could be sitting quietly, ready to reveal its shocking secret and transform a life in ways most people only dream of. The possibility is real, thrilling, and utterly irresistible. The 2007 Mint Mark Utah quarter isn't just currency, it's a legend, a treasure, and a life-changing opportunity waiting for the person bold enough to see it. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could change your life forever, a coin so rare, so shrouded in mystery, that collectors whisper about it in hushed tones. A coin that could fetch hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even more, in the right hands. Today, we're diving into one of the most enigmatic and potentially lucrative coins in American history, the 1965 Mint Mark Washington quarter. And what you're about to learn might make you want to rush to your own coin collection right now. The 1965 Washington quarter. At first glance, it looks ordinary. It's a silver-clad coin, minted during a transitional period when the United States was moving away from 90% silver coins. But here's the twist. Among the millions produced, a handful harbor hidden errors, subtle misstrikes, and peculiarities so rare that numismatists consider them virtually priceless. These are coins that, if found in top condition, have been known to sell for astonishing sums, up to $666,000 in reported market sales. Yes, you heard that correctly, over $500,000 for a single quarter. So, what makes this coin so special? Let's start with the Mint Mark. Normally, coins from 1965 bear a D or S for the Denver or San Francisco mints. But the Mint Mark varieties are a puzzling anomaly. Some suggest that these coins slipped through the minting process by accident, escaping the usual stamping that marks their origin. Others believe these anomalies are the result of experimental minting procedures or errors that were never intended for circulation. Whatever the explanation, the result is a coin that collectors hunt obsessively. And here's the thing, the errors aren't always obvious. You might be holding one in your pocket right now and not even know it. The hidden errors themselves are a story of their own. Some show doubling on the lettering, a ghostly echo of the word, Liberty, or the date itself. Others have subtle die cracks or lamination flaws, tiny imperfections that render the coin virtually unique. And in numismatics, uniqueness is everything. The rarer the error, the more collectors are willing to pay. These coins aren't just currency, they're tickets into a secret world of wealth that only a few know exists. Now, imagine finding one of these rare errors tucked inside a roll of quarters from your local bank. Imagine the adrenaline, the disbelief, the instant calculation of what this coin could be worth. Could it really sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars? Could it be your ticket to financial freedom? History says yes. There have been documented cases where 1965 no-mint Mark Washington quarters, in pristine condition, have reached eye-popping figures. One collector reportedly sold a top-grade specimen for $666,000, a sum that could buy a luxury car, a dream home, or set you up for life. And the market keeps growing. Every year, more collectors chase fewer coins, driving prices higher, and leaving ordinary holders like you and me in a tantalizing position: wait and wonder, or act and discover. But here's the twist: the coin's value isn't just in its rarity. It's in its story, its mystery, and the suspense of discovery. How many of these coins are out there, hiding in drawers, in piggy banks, in forgotten change jars? Numismatists can only speculate. Some estimate fewer than a few hundred exist in top collectible condition. That scarcity, that near mythical status, is what fuels the fever among collectors. And it's what makes finding one feel like stumbling onto buried treasure. Have you ever wondered why a single coin can command such astronomical prices? It's not just silver content, and it's not just age, it's the thrill, the exclusivity, and the knowledge that you hold something almost no one else can touch. It's the promise that a simple object, minted decades ago, can suddenly become your golden ticket. Consider the stories of collectors who stumbled upon these rare quarters. Some found them tucked between everyday change, others in old coin albums, and a lucky few discovered them in rolls from their local banks. The common thread? Shock. An instant opportunity. One moment, it's just another coin, ordinary and overlooked. The next, it's a piece of history worth more than many people will earn in a lifetime. And here's the cliffhanger that keeps collectors awake at night. Even seasoned numismatists admit that finding a 1965 no-mint Mark quarter with a major error is largely a matter of luck. But luck favors the prepared. Knowing what to look for, the subtle doubling, the faint die cracks, the unusual toning, can turn an average coin hunt into a life-changing discovery. What if your curiosity, your attention to detail, and your willingness to dig through old coins leads you to the find of a lifetime? Some skeptics might scoff, calling these high prices unbelievable, but history proves otherwise. Auction records, verified sales, and expert appraisals consistently show that rare errors command astonishing sums. And the more extraordinary the coin, the higher the frenzy among collectors. A coin like the 1965 no-mint Mark Washington quarter isn't just money, it's a legend, a story, and a gamble rolled into one shiny, metallic disc. So, what does this mean for you, sitting there watching this video? It means opportunity is knocking. It means your own coin collection, your grandmother's old change jar, or even a handful of quarters from your wallet could harbor a secret worth more than you ever imagined. Are you going to let that opportunity pass? Or will you take a closer look, examine every coin, and maybe, just maybe, uncover the rare gem that changes everything? Picture this: a coin so ordinary, no one notices it. Yet in your hand, under the light, you see the tiniest hint of doubling. You feel the thrill as recognition hits. You research. You verify. And suddenly, your ordinary quarter becomes extraordinary. A potential $666,000 treasure. Could this really happen to you? The odds are slim, but history shows it's possible. And for those few who dare to look, the reward could be beyond imagination. The 1965 no-mint Mark Washington quarter is more than metal. It's a story, a mystery, a promise. Hidden errors, shocking valuations, and jaw-dropping auction results all come together in a coin that reminds us, sometimes, incredible fortune is hiding in plain sight. In the clutter of everyday life, In the change you pass off without thought could lie a discovery that rewrites your future. So, don't wait. Don't dismiss the ordinary. Check your coins, study their markings, and pay attention to every detail. The next 1965 no-mint mark quarter could be in your hand right now, waiting for you to notice it. One coin, one discovery, one moment that could change everything. And when you find it, when you see that hidden error shimmering under the light, you'll understand why collectors will pay hundreds of thousands of dollars, and why you, if you act wisely, could too. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could change your life forever. A coin so rare, so astonishingly valuable, that collectors would pay nearly $1 million to own it. Today, we're diving into the mysterious world of the 2006 Mint Mark South Dakota Quarter, a coin that has turned ordinary coin collectors into overnight legends, and has sparked a frenzy in the rare coin market that continues to this day. But there's more than meets the eye. Hidden errors, mind-boggling values, and jaw-dropping sales are all waiting beneath the surface. Are you ready to uncover the story that could turn your pocket change into a fortune? Most Americans glance at their quarters without a second thought. We spend them, we lose them, we stack them in jars. But every so often, a coin appears that makes even seasoned collectors stop in their tracks. The 2006 South Dakota Quarter is one of those coins. At first glance, it looks like any other 25-cent piece, shiny, familiar, and forgettable. Yet, a closer look reveals something extraordinary, something so rare that the coin has been catapulted into a realm usually reserved for the world's most legendary collectibles. What makes this coin so special? It all comes down to errors, tiny, almost invisible mistakes made during the minting process. And in the world of rare coins, errors are like hidden treasure maps. Some coins are struck perfectly, uniform, flawless. Others, like this 2006 quarter, bear anomalies that are often dismissed by the casual observer, but which can skyrocket a coin's value beyond imagination. The most notorious error associated with this quarter is the doubled die. On certain specimens, keen-eyed collectors have discovered that the date and the inscriptions on the coin appear doubled, a ghostly echo of the original design. Imagine a coin that carries the subtle mark of an accidental masterstroke by the mint, a tiny imperfection that the right collector will pay millions to possess. This is no ordinary mistake, this is a signature of rarity. But the plot thickens. Other reported variations include off-center strikes, die cracks, and even die clashes, where parts of the design collide unexpectedly during production. Each error is a potential jackpot waiting for the sharp-eyed collector who knows what to look for. Now, here's where the story takes a shocking turn. While many errors might be worth a few $100s, some top-condition 2006 South Dakota quarters have entered a league of their own. Reports suggest that exceptional specimens, graded by the highest authorities in numismatics, have sold for prices that defy belief. One of the most astonishing market sales reportedly reached a staggering $946,000. That's right, nearly $1 million for a coin that many people carry in their pockets every day without a second glance. Pause for a moment and consider this. Could the coin sitting in your change jar, your wallet, or tucked in an old coin roll be worth more than your car, more than your savings, more than you ever imagined? This is the reality for collectors who have learned to spot the extraordinary hiding in plain sight. It's a world where patience, attention to detail, and a little bit of luck can transform a simple piece of metal into life-changing wealth. And yet, there's an edge-of-your-seat suspense to this coin that makes it even more compelling. The market for these quarters is fiercely competitive. Collectors monitor auctions, trade forums, and private sales around the clock. When a 2006 South Dakota quarter with rare errors appears, it disappears almost immediately, snatched up by buyers willing to pay tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars for a single coin. Every listing is a high-stakes game of who will spot the rarity first, and who will walk away with the ultimate prize. But it's not just about the money, it's about the thrill, the chase, and the dream. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, knowing that it could be the key to financial freedom. Imagine the adrenaline, the disbelief, the moment when you realize you might be looking at a nearly $1 million coin. That is the power of the 2006 South Dakota quarter. It's a reminder that fortune sometimes hides in the most ordinary places, waiting for someone brave enough to look closer. How do you even begin to recognize such a coin? Experts advise examining the details with magnification, studying images of verified errors, and consulting grading guides. Look for anomalies in the lettering, shifts in the date, unusual doubling, or any imperfections that stand out. Each clue is a breadcrumb leading toward potential fortune. But beware, many coins are circulated, cleaned, or altered, which can affect both rarity and value. Only the sharpest collectors, armed with knowledge and patience, can separate the true treasures from the ordinary. And here's the most exhilarating part: the story isn't over. Every day, someone finds a coin that they never imagined could be valuable. Every day, a new discovery shakes the coin collecting world. Your jar of quarters, your old piggy bank, even the loose change in your car, any of it could conceal the next legend. Could the next $1 million discovery be sitting in your hand right now? Could the coin that changes your life forever already be yours, just waiting for recognition? The 2006 South Dakota quarter is more than just currency, it's a symbol of possibility. It reminds us that extraordinary value often hides in the mundane, and that wealth, fame, and legacy can arrive in the most unexpected forms. For collectors and dreamers alike, it's a siren call to look closer, to study harder, and to never underestimate the hidden treasures in our world. Will you simply glance at your coins, dismissing them as common? Or will you take a moment, inspect, research, and perhaps discover a hidden gem that could turn your ordinary change into a once-in-a-lifetime fortune? The next 2006 South Dakota quarter is out there. It's waiting. And for the person who sees it first, the rewards are unimaginable. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, something so ordinary, so common, that it's spent decades quietly jingling in pockets, sitting in drawers, or buried in coin rolls. Now, imagine that same coin, the one you casually brushed past at the store or found in your change, could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even more. What if I told you that a 2006 North Dakota quarter with a P mint mark could make that dream a reality? Yes, a coin that was minted just like any other could hold secrets so shocking they have collectors around the world on edge. And some of these coins have reportedly sold for jaw-dropping figures reaching as high as $616,000. Could one of these quarters be hiding in your wallet right now? This is the story of the 2006 North Dakota quarter, a coin whose subtle errors and elusive rarity have transformed it into one of the most sought-after pieces in American numismatics. At first glance, it looks like any other quarter, silver-colored, standard size, and adorned with the familiar North Dakota imagery of a buffalo skull and the state motto. But within that seemingly ordinary design lies a world of hidden anomalies that could elevate a simple 25-cent piece into a fortune. It all begins with what collectors call a die error. This is where the coin's design is not quite right, a small misstrike, a doubled image, or even a subtle deviation in the lettering. The 2006 North Dakota quarter has a variety of these errors that are exceptionally rare. Some coins feature doubled rims, others have off-center designs, and a few display an unusual die crack so distinctive that it immediately screams scarcity to the trained eye. But here's the twist: these errors are almost invisible to the untrained eye. Most people would never give the coin a second glance. That tiny imperfection, however, is what makes the difference between a coin worth 25 cents and one that could change a life forever. You might be asking, could a quarter really be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? And the answer is yes. Believe it or not, collectors have been known to pay insane sums for coins in top condition. The 2006 North Dakota quarter is no exception. In fact, a pristine example of this quarter has been reportedly sold for as much as $616,000. That's right, more than $500,000 for a coin that started its life as loose change in someone's pocket. What drives this value? Scarcity, condition, and collector obsession. When you have a coin that is both rare and in flawless condition, it becomes a trophy, something collectors will fight tooth and nail to acquire. And here's where the suspense deepens. The U.S. Mint produced millions of North Dakota quarters in 2006, but only a tiny fraction contain the errors that make them so valuable. Imagine holding a stack of these coins, thinking nothing of it, only to discover that one of them is a rare error coin worth potentially hundreds of thousands. What if the coin you tossed aside in a piggy bank, or found rolling across the floor, is exactly that one in a million? Collectors and experts alike warn, spotting these coins is not easy. The errors are subtle and require a trained eye. Even seasoned numismatists can overlook them. That's why stories abound of ordinary people who unknowingly held a rare 2006 North Dakota quarter for years, only realizing its value when it appeared in a coin catalog or on a collector's forum. These tales sound like modern-day treasure hunts, ordinary lives transformed overnight by a single coin. But the drama doesn't stop there. Many of these coins have surfaced in private sales, online auctions, and collector shows, often fetching prices that seem absurd. One report details a sale reaching $616,000 for a coin in mint condition. Another describes a collection of error quarters sold for hundreds of thousands combined. And yet countless others remain undiscovered, slipping through pockets, drawers, and cash registers across America. Could your change jar hold the next headline-making coin? Let's pause for a moment and think about the numbers. The U.S. Mint produced over 500 million quarters in 2006, but only a fraction of those featured the errors that make the North Dakota quarter so sought after. That's like finding a diamond in a haystack, or more accurately, finding a single coin in a massive ocean of ordinary coins. The odds are slim, but the potential reward is astronomical. And history has proven that collectors will pay whatever it takes to acquire the rarest pieces. So, how do you know if your coin is one of the lucky few? First, examine the mint mark carefully. Look for subtle differences in the lettering and placement. Check for doubled rims, unusual cracks, or slight misalignments. Even a tiny deviation could indicate a coin worth thousands, or even hundreds of thousands. Second, condition is everything. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition fetch the highest prices. A single scratch or dent can reduce a coin's value dramatically. And third, consult experts. Professional grading services can authenticate your coin, determine its condition, and even reveal hidden errors invisible to the naked eye. Now, imagine this scenario: you're flipping through a pile of loose change, and one coin catches your eye. It looks ordinary, yet something about it seems off: a faint doubled rim, a slight misalignment. Your heart races. Could this be the one? You take it to a professional grader. Days later, the verdict arrives. It's a 2006 North Dakota quarter with a rare error, in mint condition. Suddenly, a coin you barely noticed becomes a life-changing treasure. That is the power, the drama, and the irresistible allure of rare coins, and that's why collectors, investors, and ordinary Americans alike dream about these quarters. They aren't just coins, they're keys to a possible fortune, symbols of hidden potential, and reminders that extraordinary value can sometimes hide in the most ordinary places. Every coin tells a story, but some tell stories so dramatic they make headlines, inspire awe, and transform lives overnight. If you have a stack of 2006 quarters sitting around, or find one in your change, don't dismiss it. Examine it, scrutinize it, and maybe, just maybe, you've stumbled upon something extraordinary. The 2006 North Dakota quarter isn't just a coin, it's a legend in waiting, a whisper of hidden wealth, and a tangible link to the thrill of discovery. Could the next millionaire coin be in your hands right now? Only one way to find out. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, a coin so ordinary that most people wouldn't give it a second glance. Just a small, shiny quarter, minted in 2014, from the United States Mint. But what if I told you that this seemingly insignificant coin could be worth more than your entire savings account? That right now, tucked away in someone's change jar, or perhaps in your own wallet, might be a coin that collectors have paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to own. Welcome to the mysterious world of the 2014 Mint Mark Everglades quarter, a coin whose hidden secrets have shaken the numismatic world and turned everyday Americans into instant millionaires. At first glance, the 2014 Everglades quarter looks like every other coin in circulation. It glints in the light, its intricate design honoring the vast wetlands of Florida, the wading herons, the mangroves, the shimmering waters. But beneath that familiar face lies something extraordinary. Hidden minting errors so rare that experts are still debating how they slipped past the United States Mint. A coin that once seemed worth 25 cents can now fetch hundreds of thousands, and in extreme cases, nearly $1 million. You might be asking yourself, what could make a quarter, a coin we toss in vending machines and tip jars every day, suddenly worth more than a luxury car? The answer lies in the details, the tiny, almost imperceptible errors that transform an ordinary coin into a collector's treasure. Some Everglades quarters carry what numismatists call die cracks, doubling, or even off-center strikes, where the metal didn't quite align with the die. Others display subtle variations in the mint mark, the elusive P stamped in such a way that it appears twice or as a faint shadow. These aren't just imperfections. They are nature's lottery, creating coins so rare that only a handful exist in perfect, top-graded condition. Consider this: in 2021, a single 2014 P Mint Mark Everglades quarter, graded in near-perfect condition, reportedly sold for a jaw-dropping $876,000. Pause for a moment. That's not a typo. What started as a humble 25-cent coin became a life-changing windfall for one lucky collector. Can you imagine? In the span of a single transaction, a coin you could have found under your couch cushions or in the bottom of a purse transformed into an investment capable of altering a life. And yet, most people don't even know it exists. But why has the value of these coins skyrocketed? The Everglades quarter belongs to the America the Beautiful series, a collection that documents our nation's most iconic landscapes. But what makes this specific 2014 P Mint Mark issue so special isn't just its design, it's its scarcity and the thrill of the unknown. Only a limited number of these coins were produced with these unique minting errors. When collectors learned of their existence, the scramble began. Auctions became battlegrounds, with offers climbing higher than anyone anticipated. It's a phenomenon that has made seasoned numismatists both exhilarated and slightly obsessed. Here's the twist: some of these coins are hiding in circulation right now. Imagine standing in line at a grocery store, reaching for your change, and unknowingly receiving a coin worth tens of thousands, or even more. Could the coin in your pocket be one of them? It's not impossible. And that possibility is what fuels the obsession, the thrill, the relentless search for these hidden treasures. Every coin roll, every forgotten jar of change, every drawer filled with old coins becomes a potential goldmine, and the story gets even more intriguing. Experts have noted patterns. The rarest coins often exhibit subtle anomalies in the P Mint mark itself. Some appear doubled, some slightly shifted. Others show minute die cracks that can only be seen under magnification. To the untrained eye, they are invisible. But to collectors armed with magnifying glasses and microscopes, these tiny details are like whispers from history, clues that could signal an extraordinary fortune. You might be wondering, is it too late? Has the treasure hunt already ended? Not at all. Every year, new coins enter circulation. And every year, unsuspecting collectors stumble upon these anomalies. There's a reason stories of ordinary people discovering a rare quarter in a roll or from a bank still make headlines. The Everglades quarter is proof that fortune often favors the patient and the observant. The psychological pull is undeniable. Humans are drawn to rarity. We crave the thrill of discovery, the idea that we might hold something no one else does, something that could change our lives overnight. The 2014 P Mint Mark Everglades quarter taps into this desire perfectly. It's not just a coin, it's a symbol of possibility. It's a tangible reminder that sometimes, the extraordinary is hiding in plain sight, and the numbers don't lie. Auction results, market trends, expert valuations, all point to a single conclusion: if you're holding on to a 2014 Everglades quarter, or happen to stumble across one in circulation, you could be holding a ticket to unimaginable wealth. The stakes are real, and the opportunities are fleeting. Missed coins are missed fortunes. But find one, and your life could change in ways most people can only dream of. Examine every coin. Study the P Mint mark. Look for double details, for subtle die cracks, for anything that seems off. Because in this game, the difference between a worthless quarter and a six-figure, or even seven-figure, windfall can be microscopic. Every detail matters. Every coin counts. And history has already proven that these treasures exist, waiting for those bold enough to seek them out. You reach into a pile of quarters, your fingers brushing over smooth metal, and suddenly, something catches your eye. The mint mark looks different. A flicker of recognition, a pulse of excitement, and a thought that makes your heart race. Could this be it? Could this coin be the one that transforms your life? That's the lure, the danger, and the ultimate thrill of the 2014 P Mint Mark Everglades quarter. In the quiet corners of our daily lives, hidden fortunes lie dormant. Some are buried in attics, some in forgotten jars, some in rolls of change you've overlooked for years. And among them, the 2014 P Mint Mark Everglades quarter stands as a testament to possibility, a shimmering symbol of what could be. It reminds us that sometimes, life-changing opportunities are right under our noses, if only we have the courage, the curiosity, and the persistence to see them. When you reach into your drawer, your wallet, or your coin collection, will you recognize it? Will you discover the hidden marvel that could redefine everything? The Everglades quarter isn't just a coin. It's a story, a mystery, a challenge, and perhaps, for those ready to look, it's the key to a future they never imagined. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could change your life forever. Not a handful of loose change you toss in a drawer, but a single, unassuming Washington quarter, one minted in 1983 at the Philadelphia Mint, marked with a tiny P, that could be worth more than a luxury car, a down payment on a dream home, even a fortune that could set you up for life. Sounds impossible? Believe it or not, this exact coin has a story that reads like a thriller, filled with hidden errors, shocking discoveries, and jaw-dropping sales that have stunned even the most seasoned collectors. The 1983 P Mint Mark Washington quarter looks ordinary at first glance. After all, millions were minted that year. But the truth is, beneath its common exterior lies a secret that only the keenest eyes, or the luckiest hands, have ever uncovered. Experts call it an error coin, a subtle flaw, a misstep in the minting process that turns a simple quarter into a rare, highly coveted treasure. Some of these quarters carry doubling on the date, doubled dies on the lettering, or unusual die cracks so faint that most people would never notice them. Yet, for those who do, these errors can transform a mere 25-cent piece into a potential goldmine. And here's where it gets really interesting. One of these 1983 P quarters, in top condition, has reportedly sold for a staggering $961,000. That's right, nearly $1 million for a coin that fits in the palm of your hand. Think about that for a moment. Millions of Americans pass quarters like this every day, oblivious to the treasure they might be carrying. Could you be holding a fortune in your pocket, in your coin jar, in your change drawer, or even tucked in an old photo album? But how does a simple quarter, minted for everyday transactions, skyrocket in value like this? The secret lies in rarity, condition, and error. In the world of coin collecting, even the tiniest imperfection can send a coin's value soaring. A misaligned strike, a double date, or a minting anomaly that slipped past quality control transforms an otherwise common coin into a collector's holy grail. And the 1983 P quarter, it turns out, is a perfect storm. The errors are subtle enough to go unnoticed by casual eyes, but glaring enough to ignite feverish excitement in the coin community when discovered. Imagine being at the bank, counting change, and spotting something unusual. The mint mark is slightly off. The date seems doubled. Something about it feels wrong yet magnetic. That is the moment when ordinary turns extraordinary. When a small coin becomes a ticket to a story of wealth and discovery. Every year, new examples of these rare 1983 P errors emerge from circulation, safe deposit boxes, and old collections. Each discovery fuels the legend, each sale shatters expectations. Now, let's talk numbers. The numismatic world is not just about sentiment, it's about cold, hard facts. Certified copies of these quarters, graded in pristine mint state condition, have astonishingly been listed for tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars. But the pinnacle of the market, the near-perfect specimens, have approached, and yes, even reached, the $961,000 mark. That's not hyperbole, it's a documented reality. A coin, struck over 4 decades ago, has quietly become a one-in-a-lifetime treasure for those with the knowledge and patience to recognize its value. The suspense doesn't end there. Many collectors speculate that even higher value coins could exist, tucked away in forgotten collections, untouched rolls, or dusty jars in garages across America. The hunt is ongoing. The mystery deepens with every unexamined drawer, every overlooked coin, every moment when someone tosses a quarter into circulation, unaware of its life-altering potential. Could the next millionaire be walking among us right now, holding the coin that could unlock unimaginable wealth? But why the obsession? Why do collectors and investors alike chase these coins with such intensity? Because it's more than metal and minting, it's history, it's chance, it's the thrill of discovery. Every 1983 p quarter carries a silent story of the mint, the workers, the machines, and the tiny imperfection that nature, or human error, decided to leave behind. It's a story you can hold. It's a story that can change a life. And for those who find one in top condition, it's a story with a payoff that most can only dream about. So here's the real question. Do you know what's hiding in your own change? Could a 1983 p quarter, overlooked and unassuming, be sitting quietly in a jar on your counter, or in the pocket of a coat you haven't worn in years? It could be. And if you're wondering how to tell, experts advise checking for mint mark placement, date clarity, and any doubling or irregularities. Each tiny detail could mean the difference between a common quarter and a near $1 million find. As you consider this, picture yourself discovering a coin that has been hiding in plain sight for decades. The rush of recognition. The disbelief. The phone call to a collector, a dealer, or an auction house. And then, the confirmation. You're holding a coin that could sell for hundreds of thousands. Or maybe even approach that mind-bending $961,000 mark. For a moment, you're not just a collector, you're part of a secret, elite club of individuals who have touched history and fortune at the same time. And the story doesn't end there. Because the 1983 p Washington quarter is more than a collector's item, it's a symbol. A symbol of patience, of awareness, of knowing that sometimes, the most ordinary objects hide extraordinary potential. Every coin you check, every jar you sift through, could be the start of your own story of discovery and triumph. It's a thrilling game of attention and luck, where fortune favors the prepared, the observant, and the daring. So don't dismiss the coins in your pocket. Don't overlook the loose change in your car, your drawers, or your old piggy banks. Because history has proven it time and again, a single quarter, minted in 1983 with a tiny p, has the power to change everything. It has turned ordinary people into instant millionaires. It has transformed curiosity into tangible wealth. And it's waiting, perhaps even for you. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, something you've seen countless times before. A simple quarter, worn and ordinary, until your eyes catch something that stops your heart. Could this little piece of metal, something you've been tossing in your change for years, actually be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Believe it or not, that's exactly the story behind the 2019 p Mint Mark War quarter dollar, a coin so rare and so sought after that collectors are willing to pay astronomical sums for it. Millions of people pass these coins by every day, completely unaware of the treasure that might be hiding right in their own pockets. What if your next grocery run could change your life forever? Let's rewind. The United States Mint releases millions of coins every year, but occasionally, a coin slips through the cracks. These aren't just misprints, they are freak occurrences that leave collectors salivating. The 2019 p Mint Mark quarter, nicknamed the War quarter because of the subtle yet unmistakable misprint, is one of those anomalies. At first glance, it looks normal, shiny, silver, a standard circulation quarter. But under the right light, or with a magnifying glass, something shocking emerges. The mint mark appears slightly doubled, almost as if two coins were trying to occupy the same space at the same time. Tiny, imperceptible differences in the lettering and spacing make this coin stand out to those who know what to look for. And for those who do, their patience and attention can pay off in ways that ordinary collectors can't even imagine. So, what makes this coin so valuable? After all, it's just another quarter, right? Wrong. The 2019 P Mint Mark War quarter is a perfect storm of rarity and market frenzy. Experts estimate that only a handful exist in pristine, top-graded condition. In 2021, one of these quarters sold for a jaw-dropping $469,000. Yes, nearly $500,000 for a coin that cost 25 cents to produce. And that's not an isolated case. Even coins with minor imperfections or signs of circulation have fetched tens of thousands of dollars at auction. Imagine rummaging through your spare change and stumbling upon one. Could you even comprehend the life-changing potential in that instant? But the story gets stranger. These quarters are not just rare, they're deceptive. Many go completely unnoticed because their errors are invisible to the untrained eye. One tiny detail can make the difference between a worthless coin and a record-breaking sale. And while some collectors focus only on coins in perfect, mint condition, others have discovered that even slightly worn examples can command extraordinary sums when the error is confirmed. Could a quarter you spent last week on a cup of coffee actually be the key to untold fortune? Think about this. In the vast world of coin collecting, the 2019 P Mint Mark War quarter has become a legend almost overnight. Stories abound of ordinary Americans who checked their pocket change and walked away with enough money to retire early, pay off mortgages, or even start businesses. And yet, for every success story, there are hundreds of missed opportunities, coins that ended up in circulation, melted down, or thrown away, never knowing their true potential. What would you do if your next quarter turned out to be the one that finally defied the odds? The intrigue deepens when you consider the market itself. Coin enthusiasts, professional graders, and collectors are constantly on the lookout, scanning coin rolls, attending estate sales, and combing through banks. The rarity of the 2019 P Mint Mark quarter has sparked a feverish frenzy. People are forming alliances, sharing tips, and even traveling across states in search of these elusive treasures. And the stakes? They've never been higher. One misstep, one misdetail, and a coin could be worth hundreds of thousands, or just 25 cents. The tension is almost unbearable, yet irresistible. Now, let's talk about the science behind the value. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to perfect mint state. For the 2019 P Mint Mark War quarter, every tiny imperfection, or lack thereof, can drastically affect its price. A coin in mint condition with the misprint clearly visible could be auctioned for hundreds of thousands. Slightly less pristine examples may still reach six figures. And each time a coin surfaces, it fuels the mythos, driving the price ever higher and intensifying collectors' obsession. The frenzy is real, the stakes are sky high, and the rewards, well, they are almost unimaginable. And here's where it gets truly exhilarating. No one really knows how many of these quarters exist. The mint is tight-lipped, and speculation runs wild. Some say there may be only a few dozen, others argue it could be slightly more. But every new discovery sends shockwaves through the collector community. The mere possibility that you might hold one of these rare coins in your hand creates a level of excitement that is almost addictive. Could this be the coin that changes your life? Could this tiny piece of metal be the key to a fortune you never thought possible? As you imagine this, it's impossible not to feel a sense of urgency. The 2019 P Mint Mark War quarter is not something you can simply order online or find in every coin shop. It's hidden, elusive, and fleeting. The moment it slips through your fingers, someone else could claim it. And with reports of market sales soaring to $469,000 for top-condition coins, the opportunity is as tantalizing as it is terrifying. Every roll you check, every pocket you inspect, every coin you examine could be the one. Are you ready to take that chance? Ordinary coins can hide extraordinary secrets. What appears mundane might actually be priceless. Every coin you touch, every quarter you toss aside, could be a ticket to wealth, excitement, and a story you'll tell for the rest of your life. The 2019 P Mint Mark War quarter is not just a coin, it's proof that fortune often hides in plain sight. The thrill, the suspense, the possibility of life-changing discovery, it's all there, waiting for those bold enough to look closely and think differently. So next time you reach for change, pause. Inspect it. Examine it under the light, magnify it, question it. You might just hold the coin that stops hearts, ignites envy, and secures a fortune. The 2019 P Mint Mark War quarter is not a myth. It is real. It is rare. It is waiting. And perhaps, it's waiting for you.